In this lesson, we will dive into our next exercise by creating a new project schedule. To follow along with this lesson, download the attachments with this lesson. On the screen now, I have opened the same file. The objective of this exercise is to create a project schedule for purchasing a new car. Being an efficient project manager, you want to create a schedule that will plan all the tasks and you want to be very diligent and systematic about purchasing your brand new car. Next, let us fire up Microsoft Project and create a new file. There are many ways in which you can create a new file. The most common ways are first creating from a blank file like we did in the previous exercise also. Then you can also create from an existing template that you see here, or you can also create from a template from your own existing design. Finally, the third way is you can create by importing data from other sources, most commonly an Excel worksheet. The latter two cases are very common in corporate situations, and we will explore very deeply from the next exercise onwards. But for now, we will keep things ultra simple and create from a blank project file. Okay, now my new project file is open. There are a couple of very important things you must do before you proceed to build out your own project schedule. The first thing is you must create a starting date for your project. Let's see how to do this. First, change over to the project tab and then click on the project information button that you see on the ribbon. This dialog box allows you to set and get several important information about your project. Firstly, and most important, you can set the project start date. Notice this always defaults to today's date. You can change it as you please. I want to set it to the next coming Monday and I will change it like this. So I have set the new start date. Then you can choose whether you want the project to be scheduled from the start date or the finish date. Notice that when you are asking project to schedule from the project start date, the finish date is grayed out, meaning project will automatically calculate this for you. You can, however, choose to schedule in the reverse order, that is from the project finish date. This type of scheduling you will use when you have a known fixed finish date, but not in this example. Then you can specify which base calendar that you want to use as the project calendar. We will look at this in more detail in the next coming lesson as it needs some more explanation. Finally, from this dialog box, you can obtain overall project statistics for start and finish dates, durations, work, costs with this statistics button at the bottom. You will do this typically when your project is running or finished. And there are better ways to do this we will see in more complex projects later on. For now, let me return back to the Gantt chart. Now, the next very important thing I do when creating new projects is to make sure my new tasks that I add are configured to be automatically scheduled. We have already seen this earlier. Now, it is redundant to keep on changing this auto manual setting for every new file created. I want to change the behavior of Microsoft Project itself so that every new file it creates, by default, the tasks are in automatic mode. Let us see how we can do that. You can do that first by going into the Backstage. You can access Backstage from the File tab here like this. Now in the Backstage, click on the Options side tab here. And when you do that, the all important project options dialog box opens up. This dialog box is all important because it allows you to control all the defaulted behavior of Microsoft Project itself. Here we go to the Schedule side tab and search for a section on scheduling options for this project. The first thing that I want to do here is change the drop down setting for this project from this project to all new projects. Okay, and then you see the next drop down here, new tasks created, and make that from its default manually scheduled to auto scheduled. And with this setting, all new project files that you create will have auto scheduling by default. Okay, now you may have a very burning question. Why does Microsoft Project default to manual setting? In fact, most veteran project managers will cringe with manual settings. The answer to this, I can only guess, is because Microsoft is making it easier for newbie users. Automatic task settings will result in auto calculations. That is where the power of Microsoft Project lies. And for a new user who does not understand where those calculations are happening, it can be a major hurdle. But we will cover all of this in our course, so there is nothing to worry about. We will return to this project options dialog box a few times in later lessons, but now you know where to look if you want to change some core behavior of Microsoft Project. Okay, when you are done, return back to the project schedule by clicking on the OK button like this. And now we are all ready to create our project schedule for our new exercise. And we will do that in the coming lessons. In conclusion, for this lesson, we saw briefly that there are three most common ways to create new files. Then we saw the project information dialog box and we set the start date for our new exercise. Finally, we visited the project options dialog box where we changed the default behavior to create automatically scheduled tasks for all upcoming new projects. In the next lesson, we will revisit the calendar feature again before building out our project exercise. So see you in the next lesson.